I'm Peyton.
Jamie.
Claire. Lydia.
Today our presentation is on the phonograph and early jazz recordings from 1917 to 1930. Today we will be teaching you about what the phonograph is, who invented the phonograph, what kinds of records were typically used, who were some of the first jazz bands to use the phonograph, and how did the invention of the phonograph positively impact jazz and the music industry.
So the phonograph is a sound recorder and reproducer. It allows the recording of sound and the playback of sounds. Sound vibrations would get indented or scratched by a recording needle into a tin or wax cylinder. It was invented by Thomas Edison in 1877, and he combined the telegraph and the telephone. The first words he ever recorded were "Mary Had a Little Lamb." Its initial uses were office dictation and as an educational tool, and the phonograph changed the whole music industry.
78 RPM records were standardized in the early 1920s. RPM stands for revolutions per minute. They were only able to record about 3 minutes at a time, and the earliest methods of sound recordings are usually described as acoustical. They only had mechanical needs for simple recording and playback. Generally, they had a wax coating, and the most popular disc size was 10 inches.
Okay, so some early recordings around the 1920s. First, which we should all know, is the original Dixieland Jazz Band recording, which was in 1917. In 1920, we had our first classic blues recording. In 1921, we had our first recording by a black band, and so on. Positive impacts phonograph had on the music industry. Live performances were no longer the only option for listening to music. We can now listen to it in our own homes. It popularized jazz. It was a new form of entertainment. There were continuous improvements in the phonograph that had led to new styles and forms of jazz. And also, soldiers could use them for entertainment during World War I.
So to summarize, we learned that a phonograph is a sound recorder and reproducer which required the use of sound vibrations, a cylinder, and a needle. Thomas Edison invented the phonograph in 1877. The typical record that was used is a 78 RPM record, and some of the first to use the phonograph for jazz music was the original Dixieland Jazz Band, Jelly Roll Morton, Louis Armstrong, Bessie Smith, and many others. And the invention of the phonograph impacted jazz and the music industry as a whole because it created a whole new form of entertainment. Popularized jazz, and you can listen to the music in your own home.
Okay, anyways, thank you for listening. Here are our sources, and have a great day.